Hi, Helene. How you doing?
Hi, Helene.
I'm good. How are you guys all doing?
We're doing good.
All right.
Good.
Good to see you, Helene.
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Great.
I have to find everybody on my screen here. So,
We still have a few more people to sign up. Michael Wayne, our president, as well as Barbie.
good.
So we're just chewing the fat right now.
I know I've been listening. I just wanted y'all to know that I'm here, but I was waiting to come on just a couple minutes early, but not too early.
Listening to this, boy, talk about having an empty life. If you're listening.
Well, we're all just doing the best we can right now.
Something like that.
So tell me where's everybody from? I heard, Eric, you're Phoenix.
Yeah, Helene, we met a couple years ago at the Dripping Spring Songwriters Festival. I don't know if you remember that or not, but
Yes, I do. That would be 2019, right?
yeah, I was captivated by you then. I'm looking forward to hearing you today.
Thank you very much. Well, I just sent in my application again today. They're making all of us reapply.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. So I got that done today. Because that's a sweet little festival and a nice community of writers and artists. So
It really is. It's a special place there for sure.
how often have you played there?
Ooh, in 2019 was my fourth year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
That was my first.
I'm guessing I'm probably due to be called this year, I imagine, because they probably, they try to bring new people in all the time.
Oh, I thought you said called. You said called?
Called, yeah.
That's ruthless. That's terrible. Well, I hope they don't. I'll look forward to seeing you. Okay, so Bobby, I know you. Wayne, you here in Dallas?
And I am in Southwest Fort Worth.
Okay.
I used to live in Dallas, but I'm much better now.
But you're what? Much better.
Much better now.
Good.
Fort Worth's where the West begins. Dallas is where the East kind of peters out.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate. Keith, where are you from?
I'm from beautiful Carrollton, Texas, gateway to Farmers Branch.
Yep. All right. And Stephen, I'm just going in order on my screen. It might be different than you guys.
Yeah, I'm in northeast Fort Worth in a town called South Lake.
That makes sense. Okay. I know South Lake well lately. Bob. You're muted.
You're muted, Bob. He doesn't tell it. We can't hear you, Robert. There you
I
go.
also live in Carrollton. So
Okay.
I didn't know anybody else came from there, but I've been all over the place, owned 10 houses all over the country, and just ended up here, ran out of gas.
We used to live in the colony
Yeah.
back when it was a remote outpost.
So we have Carrollton, Madeline. Is that how you say your name? Madeline? You're muted.
I don't know why it comes up with my first name. I think it's the way that I must have set up the computer. I need to go in and fix it. You can call me Carol.
Carol.
And I live near Carrollton, but I'm in Dallas.
Okay.
You probably met Carol Shaw before. She's been around the DSA for a while.
I think so. She was familiar. Yes, she looked familiar. Good to see you
I
again.
need to pay my membership. I know that.
Barbie, how are you?
I'm good, Helene. How are you doing? I was trying to post on your page today.
I saw that. I just saw that a little while ago. So great.
Good. I finally did it.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Okay, good. Joe's out there in West Texas. He's about 40 miles from Bob Will's
Really?
birthplace, yeah.
Where would that be?
Near Turkey, Texas.
Yeah.
Turkey.
If you go from Dallas to Amarillo or Amarillo to Dallas, you pass through a mile of my house.
Okay. You're a ways out there. And Michael, you're here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're part of the. Are you still board? I don't even know who's on the board anymore. So
Yeah.
President.
okay, just that.
Big cheese.
Well, good.
Kahuna.
Thank you. I'll let y'all start your meeting. I just want to.
Yeah. Well, it's 7 o'clock. There may be some others that kind of wander in. I guess Harry will keep tabs on that.
Harry?
Yeah, Joe just logged on. Okay, good. If you put your screen on gallery view, you can probably see everybody. Yeah. I think you're supposed to get 50 on there or something like that. 99 if you do it right. Well, it'd be nice if we got that many. There's Joe.
I won't be able to see that small.
He disappeared again.
I did.
There he is.
Right here. I got mine on gallery, so it may be effective, but I don't know.
Well, very well. And, hi, Joe.
Hello.
Yeah. Give Joe a big hi. Mr. Admin.
Welcome to my world.
Anyway, this is our April Fool's version, I guess, of the DSA monthly meeting. I don't know that we have a lot of foolish things going on tonight, but
poetic, I think.
But it's always fun to get together. I'm glad to see the smiling faces that we do have, and just kind of catch you up. I know that probably many of you are aware that we have our Hall of Fame ceremony in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday. It'll be Saturday afternoon from 12 noon to 3 p.m. and we have a great lineup honoring our honorees. And gosh, I can't think of all their names. I didn't write them down.
John Denver, England Dan, England Dan Seals, John Ford Coley, Steve Weisberg, Janie Fricky, and
Denver,
Greg Smith.
Greg Smith, yes, our Dallas's own Greg Smith. So we've got a lot of great, members of the DSA and our rising stars, young rising stars, to perform songs of the honorees. So it's going to be a real fun show. Be real fun, and I hope you all can make it, and encourage your other DSA friends to join in on the fun. Because it's important that we recognize these wonderful people that have come before us and help place North Texas and Dallas area is a songwriting mecca and performer mecca. A lot of great people come out of the Dallas area, so we're trying to honor as many as we can every year.
Michael, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne.
I have been drafted, and I'm really delighted to I get to be Dan Seals for this.
Well, there you go. See.
But I'm sending out. I send out a monthly thing, promotional email like a lot of people do, and it's going out tomorrow. And I have featured DSA very prominently, like smack dab in the middle of the whole thing.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you being a part of it.
Yeah, I'm just promoting me, and you guys get to come along for the ride.
Well, as long as it works out for everyone, I'm sure it will. But it'll be a great fun thing to do, and we'll hear a lot of great talent and have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it.
And honor those people. Other than that, let's see. We've got, of course, the regular Saturday showcase coming up this Saturday and every Saturday. Who do we have this Saturday for the showcase, global showcase, Harry?
Well, Kat McGee and John Mason will be there. Bill Martin, I think, is going to be there. We'll have. I have to go look at the list to name all of them, but we're going to have six good ones. It's going to be a good show.
Okay.
I like all the three that you mentioned. I like them all.
Well, they're gonna be there. The Stephen Valenzuela may be there, and
good.
It just gets better every week. I have an announcement that's kind of a request too. I just and it kind of pertains to our speaker, and I got an email just before the meeting started from David Card with Poor David's Pub, and he said, "Would you please mind mentioning to the audience members that the B.W. Stevens Memorial Singer-Songwriter Competition is underway. First prize is $1,000 in cash. And Helene Cronin was a finalist a few years back. And I just wondered, did you have any comments that you could make about that, Helene?
She's muted.
Can't hear you.
It's a great local contest. David Card is legendary in this town. I've judged the contest before. I've been in it a couple of times. It's well worth doing. And I think the prize money keeps going up every year. So if you are a performing songwriter, it's a good thing to throw your name in the hat.
He pays it out right there after the finals, right there on the stage. It pays out that cash money.
He does. He's gotten a couple of sponsors, I think. And so the money is quite nice.
They opened back up now at Fort David's?
They are start slowly. He said they're starting to open up according to CDC guidelines, kind of just partially, not fully filled, and everybody wearing masks and things like that. So I've seen him posting. I got an email today with a bunch of, a few shows. Michael Hearn and Shake Russell coming.
Put your headphones on. Oh, okay. Do you want to listen to it?
Joe, will you mute your... Yeah, thank you. We got two Joes, unfortunately.
Some nice gear you got there, Barbie.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Am I going to need to put earbuds in or something? Or
I don't think so. We're all going to mute whenever you start. Okay. I think everyone's just kind of visiting.
Okay.
We're networking
to this
still.
point, yeah.
Yeah, we just want to talk about what's going on. And, of course, the Wednesday open mics are doing real good. Harry's hosting those. And then we have a third Thursday live event with Ricky Jean Wright.
That's Friday, third Friday.
Oh, no, it's a Friday event. Third Friday, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Third Friday event at the Porta di Roma in Richardson.
We're all going out for the margarita pizza this month.
Yeah.
I did that a couple of weeks ago. It's actually a fun little deal.
Yeah. And,
it was good. I watched it on Facebook, and y'all were great.
And it's live, and it's a good event. So please try to get out to that one if you can. Let's see, other than that, anybody else have any?
Fourth Thursday.
Huh?
Fourth Thursday.
Fourth Thursday.
Love and War.
What's happening on the fourth Thursday?
Love and War.
Oh, yeah, the Love and War.
Bring your own mic
at Love and War on the fourth Thursday. We don't want to forget that one.
No, that's been going on since last June, and but we had the best crowd ever for all year, Harry says. I haven't been there. I've just been watching it on Facebook until we went out on Thursday. It was good to hug everybody.
Yeah.
They've got a great stage. They've got a new sound system. They've got a sound man. I mean, like a real live sound man. And we had a lot of people there. Not only we get DSA people, but other people come out there. They've kind of got accustomed to eating outside now, with the COVID thing.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing.
Yeah, it sounded great. They've got a real high quality thing going there with the music and the stage and sound system. I enjoyed it.
I was relieved to find that everybody else had gained weight like I had.
Not me.
Well,
Except for Wayne, he lost weight. I don't know how you did it, but you lost weight.
64 pounds.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
There you go.
The humans that's the only species that gets fat in the winter and skinny in the summer.
Well, with the COVID, you burn a lot of extra calories walking back to the car to get your mask.
Well,
got to keep up with it. Well, okay. Anybody else have any exciting
We
things?
do have the Deep Elm thing coming up, but it's been postponed to September, and we have the guitar show coming up.
Yeah, guitar show. We'll have a booth at the guitar show. That'd be on April 30th and May 1st and 2nd. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And where is that?
That's at Dallas Market Hall on Stemmons Freeway.
Do you guys need some volunteers? Bobby, do you need some volunteers?
Yes, we sure do. If anybody wants to volunteer, there are 2 4-hour shifts per day, a morning shift and an afternoon shift. So that's 12 shifts, and so there's plenty of room for volunteers. It's a great, you get in free.
Yeah, get in free.
If you volunteer, and it gives you plenty of time to swap out with your booth partner to go tour the facility and maybe catch a show or two. There's great entertainment, and of course you get to see all of what's new in the world of instruments and technical equipment. And so if you want to volunteer for one of those shifts, let me know. We sure would like to have you.
I'll do it.
All right, we got enough volunteer right there.
Who said that, Wayne? Is
Yeah.
that Wayne? Okay. Yeah, good.
All right, thank you, Wayne.
Who else? Anybody else want to volunteer that's got vaccinated?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I say, yes, I've had both of my shots. I had rabies and kennel cough, so I'm covered.
You're good now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to get into our program for the evening, and then we'll have song critiques led by Joe and Barbie. Give us their great takes on the songs. But I'd like to introduce Helene Cronin. She is a kind of a pretty famous songwriter, I think. She's had a lot of good songs that have gone out to the world, and she's had a lot of great experiences, I know, in her songwriting career, and she can probably share some of those experiences with us, some of her successes and some of what she's learned, maybe somebody she's met along the way that she wouldn't be telling tales if she told us about them or something like that, you know. But we'd love to hear what you have to say, Helene, and I'm going to give the stage to you.
All right. Well, I am happy to be here talking to my compadres. I am very informal, so I really am hoping that you all will be thinking of some questions that you might have for me, because I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story and hope that it intersects with your story a little bit. I joined Dallas Songwriters. I began songwriting in college and put out a few contemporary Christian CDs, but I didn't join Dallas Songwriters until I think I'd had my second daughter, and I was dabbling with writing again, and after taking a break, and I don't know how it came up on my radar, something in the newspaper, and so I went to my first meeting, I think in 1994, and all of a sudden I heard people writing country songs, and so everybody in the meetings would play their country songs, and I had kind of grown up not especially liking country music because I didn't like all the twang. But what I loved about what was going on at DSA is people were just writing about life. And so I began to explore a bigger area of my own life instead of it all just being contemporary Christian and theological. I kind of started to go, okay, what else is going on in my life that I can write about? And so DSA was very formative in kickstarting me broadening myself as a songwriter. So I'm very grateful to you all for that to this day, Barbie. The other thing that DSA did was that it gave me a community of writers. And I think that's what you all do for each other. I don't get to meetings and haven't since I moved to Plano. I haven't been able to go down to meetings as much, but it gave me a community of writers where I could measure my songs against what was going on and begin to get an idea of, are my songs working, and playing them for people and finding out, was I communicating the way I wanted to? So all of that was great. And to this day, I still count on, my songwriter community has changed, but I still count on those people. My co-writers, for a while it was Nashville Songwriters Association and some of the events that I would go to there. And I think it's very hard to do songwriting alone, and especially when you are not 20 years old living in Nashville trying to be an artist, which I am none of those three. I am trying to be an artist. I am an artist, but I'm not 20 and I don't live in Nashville full time. And so a lot of the cards in the deck are stacked against me. But I have never stopped believing that I have something to say, that I have a purpose, that I have a reason to be doing what I do, even though there are times it gets very, very, very discouraging. So what I've been doing lately, I know most of you all already know the story about Lucky Me and how that all came about. Do I need to please speak up?
I have no idea about it, but you don't. That's Wayne. You don't have to do it on my account, but
we have all new members pretty much since you spoke last. So
okay.
You could probably go through Lucky Me and talk about that.
Okay, I will do that. So as I mentioned, sometimes songwriting is very discouraging when you are pursuing it at the level that I was beginning to pursue it in the midnight, like after I joined DSA around 97, 98, I started going to Nashville because DSA and some of the people there introduced me to what was going on up there. And so I started going there and taking my songs, and then I stopped because my kids needed me. I get to be a mom. I get to be a wife. I get to have a family. I've done all that stuff. My kids are grown now, but at that time they needed me. So I took a break from Nashville and I started going again in 2004. And in 2005, I was invited to a workshop that was put on by Barbara Cloyd, and it was called Songwriter Search. And so I had been to one in Austin, and then I was selected. There were only 2 of us from the Austin one that were selected to go to this one in Nashville. And so I had a little bit of a big head, to be honest. I was like, I'm going to get discovered and this is going to be it. And so I went up there, and the only stipulation was that we play songs that we had written since the last one. So the former workshop was in April in Austin, and then I'm invited to this one in October. And I'm a little bit of a rule follower, and so I played new songs, and they were nowhere near ready for the level of publisher that was in that meeting. And I could have played demos. I look back on it and I go, I could have played demos, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad that I did it the way I did it. I'm glad that it failed. I'm glad that I went home a little bit. It's like one of those times where I got my ass kicked, basically. So I decided that I was going to leave that seminar. I was going to leave Nashville, and I had a ticket a friend had given me to fly home on American, and I was allowed to go standby. And I thought, I'm just going to get to the airport and get out of town. I hate Nashville. This is terrible. This was such a disappointment. So I go to the airport. I'm standing in line to get my standby ticket early, get out of town as soon as I can. And there's a guy in uniform next to me. And I had never, this is 2005 again, I had never spoken to a man or woman in uniform at the airport because I always felt awkward. I didn't know what to say. And for some reason, this is the reason I was supposed to be there that weekend, not that workshop. But I didn't know that for a couple of years. But for some reason, I decided to strike up a conversation with him. And it was very simple. And, where are you from and where are you going? And he said, I'm headed back to the Middle East. And then he asked me where I was going. And I often, when I introduce a song, I'll often say, if I had had a great trip, number one, I would not have been at the airport at that moment. Number two, I would have said Dallas. And he never would have answered me the way he answered me. Or I would have said Texas. But I just said, kind of with a shrug and a sad face, I said, well, I'm going home. And because of that conversation, and I'll play you the song in a minute, because of that conversation, I wrote the song that has probably been one of the most meaningful songs I've ever written. And it's opened a lot of doors for me. It still hasn't made me famous. Nobody famous has recorded it yet. Pam Tillis had it on her radar, and I still have hope that maybe she will record it. She's been looking for a song like that for a while. But the minute he answered, and I'll let the song tell you the story, but the minute he answered me, I knew that there was a song in that story, but I didn't touch that idea for 2 years. And it was in 2007 that I finally went, I need to write that story. And I just sat down with a yellow pad and I just wrote out the lyrics almost the way they still are today. I always tweak songs and I always do rewrites. So there are changes and things that I made a little bit better. But the story just spilled out and became Lucky Me. So would you like to hear it or just look it up on YouTube? Yes? Okay. All right.
Please.
So I wrote it in 2007. I began putting it, I began entering contests with it. I had some success at Wildflower with it. I was not a winner, but very, very encouraging response. And when I began to see what the song, how it mattered to people and the impact it was having just in the little local community, my sister took a demo of it and put video to it and surprised me by putting a video up on YouTube. And it's got, to this day, that song I still get comments from people once in a while, and people still find it, and it's got over 135,000 views, which is not bad for a mom who's sitting here trying to write songs in her spare time, which is what I was at the time. Anyway, this is Lucky Me. And if there's any issue, let me know, sound issues, if anything's not working.
You got it.
Stood in line beside a soldier at the airport ticket counter. We were catching flights in Tennessee. We made a little easy conversation. I asked his destination, another tour of duty in the Middle East. Then he asked me where I was headed to. When I answered home, he just said, lucky you. And I thought, lucky me. He's right, I sleep in my own bed at night. I've got everything I need. All that he gave up to wear that uniform. Lucky me, while he fights a war, I live the life he's fighting for. He is the brave, I am the free. Lucky me. I stood there silent, and all I heard echoing from his two words were all the things he didn't say. That he's lonely and scared, battle scarred, family back home praying hard. He never knows if he'll see another day. But he held up his head and looked me in the eye. And right there in those two words, I could hear soldiers' pride. And I thought, lucky me, he's right. I sleep in my own bed at night. I've got everything I need. All that he gave up to wear that uniform. Lucky me, while he fights a war, I live the life he's fighting for. He is the brave, I am the free. Lucky me. I tried to thank him before we parted ways, but the best I could do was the tears rolling down my face. Lucky me, that's right. Freedom comes at a heavy price, and we don't all pay our equal share or know what it's like over there. Lucky us, the ones at home while others go battle zones. They are the brave, we are the free. Lucky you, lucky me. Lucky you, lucky me.
Great song.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Well, tell us more.
I will. So that song started to launch me a little bit. It got me on the Mike Huckabee show, and it got me in front of a lot of military events, and I got to sing it for some Medal of Honor events, the 150th commemoration of Abraham Lincoln establishing the Medal of Honor.
Can you speak up a little bit or get close to the microphone?
Yes. Sorry. Soon after that song went up on YouTube, and I was on the Huckabee show. I think it was the next year I got to sing it for the 150th commemoration of Abraham Lincoln establishing the Medal of Honor, and there were 15,000 people in the audience and 65 Medal of Honor recipients, and that was one of the most incredible moments of my life. I will never forget it. So I'm very grateful for that song, very grateful for that soldier who said, "Lucky you," when I said, "I'm going home," like poor me. So anyway, I began based on some of the wind in my sails from the song. I started going to Nashville more often. And then in 2013, I stopped everything else I was doing. I had gotten my real estate license. I was still floundering around trying to figure out how to help pay for college and for the kids and yet do music, and yet there were a lot of times, and I'm hoping that you all can relate to some of this, where I just did not know how to do it, and I didn't know how to do the whole Nashville thing, and I didn't know how to take songwriting and make it something bigger and more important in my life, and I felt very distracted by all the other things I was trying to do. But it was 2013 that I told my husband, if I don't stop everything else that I'm doing and only focus on songwriting and getting to Nashville and getting there every month, because I was probably going 6 or 7 times a year, I said, I need to be there every month, and I need to be there for at least a week. And if I can't do that, I need to kind of ditch this dream and move on with my life. And he was very supportive. And I put my real estate license on inactive, and I began going every month, and I began widening my co-writing circle, writing with more people in Nashville, beginning to write with some young artists up there. And, it's just been a slow, steady climb. I'm not famous. I'm not well known. It resulted in one of the big changes for me in the last couple of years is that my publisher at the time, I had a publishing deal for about 5 years, and my publisher at the time got me in touch with a man named Matt King. Matt King was an artist probably in 2000 on Atlantic, and I actually remember him. But she put me in touch with him, and he and I recorded this album. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Old Ghosts and Lost Causes. And this has been another life changer for me. I put it out in October of 2019. You can find it anywhere. You can listen to it on Spotify or for free on YouTube. But this album was a true artist album. And it seems crazy for somebody who is not 20 and who does not live in Nashville and who is trying to be an artist to put this much effort into a project. But I did it, and it's paid off. And I'm getting ready to go in the studio in June to do a whole batch of new songs. So I just continue to do what's in front of me. I just try to do the next thing, try to write the next song. I am as excited about writing the next song today as I have ever been. I love what I do. The fire has not gone out. As I mentioned, I've started writing with some young artists in Nashville, and some of them are beginning to record some of my songs. I have a couple coming out on a group called the Young Fables. COVID has knocked everybody down, so I had a lot of momentum going on with this album, and I had a very, very busy 2020 booked. From March through June, I was the busiest I'd ever been with gigs and workshops, and it all fell off the calendar for me like it did for any artist that you know. So I feel like a little bit like, woo, the balloon got puffed up and then bam, somebody pricked it. But I'm still very proud of this and getting ready to go and do the follow-up. So that's been life-changing because of the critical reviews that have come out on it that I was blown away by, that I never, ever expected. But I actually invested in somebody doing some publicity for me, and that has really helped. So I feel like I'm talking too much about some of that. So if you have any questions, please interrupt me or ask me anything that you'd like to ask. Anything yet? Or if you have a song request, if you've heard some of my stuff and you want to hear something, let me know that.
I'd like to give you a word of encouragement. Putting a lot of effort into an album like that gives you something that you can give to people so that you can get more bookings and get in the circuit, kind of thing. So if you're looking to perform more, that would be able to help you in that area.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's made a big difference in getting me on people's radar. And the reviews, the people that I got compared to, Leonard Cohen, Mary Gauthier, Laurie McKenna. And that's exactly, Laurie McKenna, I identify. Do y'all know who she is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
she came and spoke to us at one point. A couple of times.
I think, and then she sang at Poor David's, I think, after. Yeah, I was there for that. Well, Lori is she's a mom of 6 kids and lives in Boston, doesn't live in Nashville, but she's got hits on the radio and she's doing it and making a success of it. And so there's a model for me. There's somebody out there doing, what I do.
And she's won a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
She won a Grammy for, the
Girl Crush.
Girl Crush.
Yeah.
Won a Grammy. Yeah.
So the other thing I've been thinking a lot about this week in I don't know, just as I am being introspective and thinking about the progression of my life is I remember when I was in college, Amy Grant was a big deal, was just coming out. And I remember thinking, I want to be the next Amy Grant. And then I remember when Sean Colvin came out and I was like, I want to be the next Sean Colvin. And then Laurie McKenna, I've been so focused on I want to be mentioned, with her. And I thought I've been so busy focusing on being the next so-and-so and not as appreciative of just being, I was going to say the next Helene, but the only Helene, finally, I think I'm finally at this point settling into going, no, I am not like everybody else. I don't have to be like everybody else. I just have to continue writing the best song that I can write, agonizing over every line, every word, the way I always have. That's what makes songs great. I'm a firm believer in rewriting. I love to read books on songwriting. I have a couple that I don't know if y'all have ever read, well, this isn't on songwriting, but if y'all ever read Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, it's a great, if you just like books on writing, this is a great one. And then the other one that I just read that I should have read years ago is Stephen King's On Writing. It just encourages you in writing is legit. Songwriting is legit. And I question that all the time because I have a business degree and I don't make money at songwriting. And so I'm constantly questioning, is this worth my time? And should I be doing this? And what do I have to show for it? And you know what? I don't know. I have Lucky Me to show for it. And I have an album I'm very proud of. And I have another album that I'm getting ready to go in and work on. That's going to even, I think, top that one. So I just kind of keep doing, whatever is the next thing in front of me and it's working. So I wish I could tell you that I had some great success. One full circle moment did happen when you all know Amy Grant married Vince Gill. And I do write with Jenny Gill sometimes, Vince's daughter. And so there was one time we were in the writing room and I was holding Jenny's little girl who was about a year old so that Jenny and the other writer and I could, we could let Jenny concentrate on writing the lyric a little bit. And I just looked at Jenny for a minute. I said, you know what? This is a really full circle moment for me. And then I burst into tears because I thought, I may not be the next Amy Grant, but I'm sitting here in a writing room in Nashville holding Amy Grant's granddaughter. So that was kind of a cool, funny story. So I don't get around too many famous people. I did get to write with William Michael Morgan on my last trip up there. He's had a number one, I think. And, so little things are trickling in.
But I have a question.
There you are.
I'd like to, you said you go to Nashville about once a month and stay a week.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide that was the appropriate amount of time? And when you go, where do you stay?
Well, I just knew I needed to be there more than a couple of days because I think I was trying to go up for, not be away from home for too long. And I knew that I needed to really go and dig in. And the week just seemed logical. I usually will get in the car on a Sunday morning and drive the 10 hours. So I'll leave here at 6 and I'll get there by 4. And then I turn around on Saturday and come home. I stay in a place that I bought in 2015. I lost my mom and my brother in the same year. My brother was a well-known artist here in Dallas, a visual artist. And when we sold his studio in the design district, the other 4 of us kids each got a little chunk of money, and I used that to put some money down on a little condo in Nashville. So I have my own place. I rent it out to friends and let friends use it, and it's been a blessing to me through the tragedy of losing my brother very suddenly. I think he would be very happy. I have it filled with his art. So that's where I stay. The week gives me time to get there, settle in. I usually have at least one writing appointment a day, sometimes 2. I play shows. So there was nothing magical about a week. The honest truth now is I'm usually there more like 10 days to 2 weeks sometimes. Sometimes I'll split it up. Sometimes I'll go twice in a month. Every month is different, and a lot of it depends on what else I have going on. With the shows closing down, that's been a little bit hard in Nashville. There's Bluebird is shut down. I can't book shows there. So,
is that where most of your contacts came through actually performing?
In Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah. I perform here too. So the momentum that I had off of my album was mostly Texas shows. I had a lot of stuff going on in Texas. I was really trying to break into Austin and Houston because I can play a few places here in Dallas, but the other cities, nobody knew who I was. I entered the Kerrville Folk Festival, so that and I ended up being one of the winners of that in 2018. And that was another attempt at trying to get people in Texas to know who I am. I've invested so much time in Nashville that I'm not very well known in the Texas circuit. So I've been working to up my visibility here a little bit. I don't know if I answered.
Sure. I just was wondering. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I've got a few. I got a couple notes here.
Okay.
First of all, I can really relate on 2020, and I won't go through my whole story here because we're not going to be here for 20 minutes on that. But I had established myself doing a lot of singer-songwriter circuit stuff in 2019 after quitting the business 25 years ago.
Wow.
And then so I reestablished in 2019, and 2020 was looking real good, and then boom. So I can really relate to that. Mm-hmm. And 2 other things. One is, one of the things that I have on my EPK when it's, there's always a part about who does he sound like, and it says in some way, I don't remember exactly, I'd have to look at it, but nobody's ever been quite able to nail it down, but he does the best Wayne Willingham on the planet.
Yeah. Good for you.
So, well, I've heard it all my life, so I figure I might as well use it. But my final thing, and this is where the question comes in. You said you got somebody to handle publicity for you. Are you talking about that you got an actual professional publicist?
I got a guy who some other folky people have used, some other people out of Kerrville and the Austin area, and his name is Adam Dawson, and he has Broken Jukebox Media. And he sent out 400 CDs to the folk Americana world for me. And he acted as publicist it was about a 3-month period that I hired him for. Most of the time, the publicity and the promo are 2 different people, but he did it all for me. And basically got a lot of smaller magazines and to review the album, Elmore Magazine. I had a premiere on Americana Highways, which is a website. He did way more for me than I've ever been able to do for myself. So the next one, I'm going to take it even to another level and try to do a little bit more in the Nashville country and Americana world. It's very different. Texas being known in Texas and in the folk community is very different than Nashville. And I'm still trying to juggle both and find my way a little bit.
Do you find, I know you do a lot with Scott Sean White, do you find yourself co-writing most of the time, or are you writing by yourself as well?
I am doing way more co-writing. And when I first joined DSA, I was a solo writer. I only wrote by myself. I think I met one of my first co-writers at DSA, Holly Dubay, and we began writing. And then it was probably in 2010. The funny story, Scott Sean White, I knew of Scott, but I didn't know him personally. And so he did a little contest here in Dallas in like 2009, 2010. And I think he was just trying to pull songwriters out of the woodwork. And so we all went over to Sullivan's Steakhouse and we played a few songs. And so I ended up, over the course of the 3 months he did that, he picked my song Lucky Me as the winning song. And it began our friendship. So our friendship began through that little contest that I really don't even like to do contests. And I wasn't going to do that one, but I did. And then he and I started co-writing. And then he is one of the great things about Scott. He is one of my biggest champions, but he champions everybody that he believes in. And so there are a whole bunch of young kids in Nashville that he mentors. And so he's one of the first ones that gave me a list of, here's what I do when I go to Nashville. I go here to eat. I don't write at home. I try to write at publishing offices. I try to be out seeing shows every night. And see, I didn't know any of that. And so that made a big, big difference. And to this day, we are very good friends and good co-writers, but my co-writing circle has expanded. It's fairly large.
I've co-written one song, so that's, and I keep hearing that, so I'm listening.
Co-writing, if you can find people to write with, sometimes you're going to write with somebody who is less good at songwriting than you. Sometimes, if you can find those peers, the people that, it's like that verse that says iron sharpens iron. If you can find those people that don't let you settle for a lyric that is not written to the hook, people that challenge you. And then once in a while I'll get in a room with somebody who I feel like, well, yeah, they're a better writer than me. And it's a lot of fun to watch how their brain works and how they'll put a story together. Yes. You have to unmute, Bob.
Yeah. Thank you, Helene.
Sure.
Did you ever run into a guy named Kim Williams who?
No, Kim.
Did you hear? I mean, he passed away here about 3 years ago.
No, I was writing with Doug Johnson, and Doug and Kim. Doug wrote 3 Wooden Crosses and Skin for Rascal Flatts and Love Like Crazy for Lee Brice. Doug and Kim were best friends. And I had a song idea that I wanted to write, and it was called Like a Brother. Montgomery Gentry and John Michael Montgomery, that were looking for a song to do together, the 2 Montgomery brothers. So I had an idea, and I took it to Doug, and he loved it. And we had a session booked, and Kim died. And he said, I gotta wait a month or two to work on this. It's too close to home. So I never had the privilege of meeting Kim, but I know him and his story.
I went to his house one time. I worked for this magazine called Country America.
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s. And I interviewed people like Matresa Berg, Gretchen Peters, some of those. And I was just in awe, you know. And and I heard about Kim, and I was in Bristol for a stock car race. I also wrote about that, Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia. And he said, well, come on over. It was the most intimidating experience of my life. This is a guy whose face was nearly burned off.
I know.
In a tragic fire. And he came back from that. And he wrote so many things with Garth and whatnot. So
he did. He very well respected in town. I mean, everybody loved him. I wish I had been able to meet him.
My question for you is, okay, there's the magic 3 chords so many songs are written with. How do you get outside that box and find a new path or a new song for you sometimes?
I take a guitar lesson every once in a while. And what I have trouble with is I find I go to the same grooves. And so I have a woman I see every once in a while and just say, just show me something new. And it just unlocks a door. I also am not embarrassed. In fact, I have one here. I was getting myself all confused about minor keys. I mean, I have music theory in my background, but I was going, okay, now why am I doing those chords in this minor key? And I just went on the internet and pulled up a chart of what chords in a minor key just to get me out of where I had gotten stuck. I am not afraid to do stuff like that. I'm always looking stuff up. Sometimes I will look at another song and see what their chord progression is, but I'm always throwing in minor 2s and minor 3s. Of course, the minor 6 is one of our best friends, but yeah, don't be afraid to throw in some of your minor
Thank
stuff.
you for doing this tonight. I appreciate it.
I'm not an expert on everything, but I love talking about songwriting, and I appreciate you guys letting me come and chat with you. So, but I don't want to. Yeah, if I answer something, it's just coming from here. It's what I figured out over the years. But I do look for tools. I use rhyming dictionaries. I use a thesaurus. I remember. Well, this is a long time ago, but I remember going to a coffee shop with a big old thick thesaurus looking for one word. I needed one word for a song that was different than this word I had, and I could not think of it. So, I mean, tools, whatever tools are at your disposal, don't be ashamed or embarrassed to use them. So did somebody have something?
Oh, yeah. Helene, thanks so much for sharing your time and your stories and your wisdom. I had a question about your co-writing. Have you found, since you now have a fairly rigorous schedule of co-writing, are you less, I don't want to say willing, but are you less willing to see a song through to where you would have done it by yourself, knowing that you're going to go co-write with some people that you've had a connection with?
So you mean if I get an idea?
I mean, let's say you've got a song and you think you really like it. You like what you've come up with.
Yeah.
And you see where it's going. Mm-hmm. Will you bring that to a co-write, or will you give yourself the opportunity to work that out yourself?
That's a great question. And it reminds me, I didn't answer part of somebody else's question about writing by myself. So let me try to do both. If I have invested a lot of time in a song idea already, I won't usually take that in unless I'm super stuck, or I've only got this is kind of what I'm thinking. But if I've already started down the road of verse and I have a chorus, I won't bring somebody in on that, because it's almost like I'm too set in where I think maybe it's going to go, or I just need the challenge of finishing it myself sometimes. Mm-hmm. What I usually will take into a co-writing session is a title, or tomorrow Scott Shawn White is releasing our song Humankind as a single, so I hope you all will go find it. It's a song that I got the idea from because there was a story on Facebook and it said #Humankind, and it was one of those heartwarming stories about, I don't even know what about, but I remember looking at that word and going, man, what if you used humankind like human kindness, but leave the ness off? And what if you said nothing helps human pain, nothing cures human pain like humankind? And would people get that? So that's what Scott and I did, but cures wasn't right because we can't really cure pain. Help wasn't right. And so Scott and I brought this idea. I said, look, I got this idea. All I have is nothing. It takes human kindness to help human pain. So all I have is this expression. And he came up with the word eases. And that song is on my album. And it took us two writing sessions to get it. It's we got a verse and a chorus, and then we didn't know what to do for the second verse, so we got away from it for a while, came back to it. So that's more like what I will take into a co-writing session, something that is a concept. So co-writing, I especially save my really difficult concepts for my co-writers. But on Old Ghosts and Lost Causes, 5 of those songs are solo writes. There's 11 songs on there. 5 of them I wrote by myself. 1 of them I wrote with my daughter, who's a novelist. And then the other 5 are co-writes. This time I have almost no solo writes. I've been so heavily invested in co-writing that I've made myself, starting in December, right after Christmas, I wrote 1 song after Christmas, and then I wrote another one in January and a third in February. I'm just making myself sit down to write by myself again. It's a muscle I think we need to develop. I don't know, how many of you all co-write? Just raise your hand. Do any of you co-write? Barbie, Wayne, Eric, Bobby?
Very little.
Yeah.
I've just begun to, actually.
Yeah. It requires a ton of trust. And you'll find there are some co-writing relationships that don't work very well. It's a little bit like blind dating. If you don't already know that person, if they're not already a friend, if you don't know their work, it can be very hard. But the best thing to do is find people whose work that you like, who you respect, and feel like maybe they're good musically where you're good lyric, or vice versa. Scott and I tend to do both well. We're on board with each other musically and lyrically. I know he is not going to give in on a lyric that's not right, and so I need that level of toughness, because there are some young writers that I'll write with, and they'll be like, "Oh no, that's okay." And I'll go, "No, it's not okay. It's not. Here's our hook. It doesn't point to our hook. Let's dig a little bit more." And then you also have to learn when to back off and go, you know what, this song isn't going to be song of the year. It's going to be okay if I just get through this right, let this song go. There's a lot of personal relationship skills that are needed in co-writing, and I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton by doing it, because I'm stubborn, and I've learned I have to be a little bit less stubborn sometimes.
I can say.
So on average, how many co-writers do you have on a given song?
Max of 4, but usually 2. So most of my co-writing relationships are 2. I do have one team in Nashville, a lady named Janelle Arthur, who's been an artist. She's been on Idol, I think. I can't remember if it's I think it was Idol. And she and a guy named Adam Wheeler and I have been doing really well this year. I just started writing with them in August, and I love that can I say threesome? I love that trio. So I have a few where we do really, really well together. So I make sure to book them every trip. But most of the time it's 2 people. I don't know if I have a song. I might have one song with 5 people in it, because we brought Bobby Pinson in on it later. And Bobby is a genius writer. Our song and liked it. So yeah, trying not, the splits start to get very, very small if you have too many writers. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, because I think among the critics of pop music that's at the top of the charts of, where it's all made on computers nowadays and auto-tune junk, that there's a dozen writers for the song. And it's basically a list of the producers and the engineers and everyone who hit a button during the song. And it seems like the true art of songwriting in that genre is getting, a smaller and smaller cut. I'm a rock and roll guy. I'm not really a country guy, although I have songs that could probably be translated into country and stuff, and I'm exploring that.
Good.
That seems to be the market for a songwriter nowadays. But it's hard for a rock and roll guy, who has a day job to, even if the songs are halfway decent, to get anywhere with them. And, without, and like I said, a lot of them are co-written probably right there in the studio for a lot of them, and have a gajillion writers. And that's just not how I work or what I think of when I think of the art of songwriting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, the thing, if you did you say you co-write or don't co-write?
My current body of work, I don't co-write.
Yeah.
I'm not
your rock and roll skills
stuff together, but as far as formally, with other songwriters and co-writing a song, I haven't done that yet. And I've only really focused on the art of songwriting seriously for the past 2 years or so.
Good. I think if there's anything I can say, I don't talk about my age, and nobody asks, and I don't really care, but I don't talk about it. But I'm just gonna say it's never too late. It's just never too late to do what you love. So don't.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep going for it. The other thing is that I just went through cancer treatment, and I am just gung ho more than ever, and just keep it. I'm gonna drop with my guitar in my hands probably. But your rock and roll skills could come in really well, even if you do. It's funny for me to think that I write country. I don't know that I'm really super country. I'm more folk, more singer-songwriter. I am just a song lyric person, and whatever genre that falls into. But the rock and roll skills could be helpful to people that are really strong lyric writers, because people like me, I have certain grooves and I can make up grooves and I have finger picking patterns, but man, to be in the room with somebody who can pick up a guitar and just play some groove I've never heard, that's a real asset. So you might find people whose lyric writing, and I don't know your lyric writing, but I'm just saying somebody who meshes in a way with a skill that, I'm always looking for people who are a little stronger at something than I am, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you hang around for the song critique, maybe you'll get to hear one of my songs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to hang around. So how are we for time? And I don't know, I hope what I'm talking about is helpful.
It is, definitely.
Are you talking, Michael? You're muted.
Mike, you need to unmute.
We saw you talking, but that's
Yuck.
I'm sure that's very eloquent.
I'm sure everybody else is. I would like to hear one more song from you, and one of your favorite songs.
Absolutely.
Helene?
Yeah,
we've heard a lot, but we'd like to hear one more song from you, one of your favorites.
Okay.
Helene, before you play your song, check your original sound. It should say turn off original sound.
It does.
Okay, good.
Did it not say that before?
I don't know. It's just the easiest thing in the world to not do.
Well, I thought I did it before when you and I tested.
No, we did, but
and then I have to do it again.
No. If you see it up there and it reads "turn off original sound," well, that's where you want it. That's where you want it.
Well, I'm sorry that it wasn't that way before.
No, it was. It was fine.
Okay.
Fine. We're just double checking.
Okay, thank you.
Just checking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, do y'all want to hear the strangest song I think I've ever written?
We want to hear what favorite song of yours. We want to hear what you want to do, I guess, is great.
Well, I'm going to play then one that was on Old Ghosts and Lost Causes, and it's probably one of the most interesting songs I've ever been part of. I have a couple of songs on that album with a young man named Davis Corley, and Davis and I had heard each other at shows, and I just said to him one day, I'd love to write with you. And so the first song we wrote was one called Riding the Gray Line. And that made the album. And then the next time we got together, he started talking about wanting to write a song about a ghost. And so we started talking about this ghost, and, maybe he died in the house, and would he come back? Would he like flick on the lights, or would he turn the TV off and on? Would he let somebody know he's there? And as we began to write it, a line came up in the song that says, "It's best if she believes I'm beneath that dirt and stone. Hardest thing I've ever done is let her let me go." And from that point on, that determined everything about the song, that we could not ever let this guy let anybody know that he was out there. So anyway, this is a big old long 5.5-minute song, but but I love it, and I don't get a chance to play it very often, so if you all will indulge me, I'll play it for you. It's just called Ghost. Also, just for the sake of introducing it, I did not change pronouns, so I am the dead husband singing the song. That confuses some people. I saw the headlights coming, but I didn't feel a thing. I just woke up like normal and thought it was a dream. Walked into the kitchen, she was crying at the stove.
wasn't until I tried to touch her that I knew I was a ghost. She turned and walked right through me. I was thinner than the air. She poured a glass of whiskey and I followed her upstairs, where I watched her dump the hamper out and curl up on my clothes. But when I laid myself beside her, I only made her cold. For a while she tried to find me tarot cards and prayer, and I fought the urge to answer her, give a sign that I was there. It's best if she believes I'm beneath that dirt and stone. Hardest thing I've ever done is let her let me go. I tried to give her space the day she packed up all my stuff, stacked the boxes in the attic with the cobwebs and the dust, took the pictures from my wallet and the ring off of her hand. Her heart was making room for a new and better man. The day that he moved in, I moved up under the eaves. I didn't mean to haunt this house, but I wasn't free to leave, 'cause I promised I'd stay by her, love her old and gray. But when he made love to her, I had to turn away. For years and years, my jealous tears fell helpless in the black, seeing her and him raising kids, the life we never had. It's best if she believes I'm beneath that dirt and stone. Hardest thing I've ever done, let her let me go. Let her let me go. I waited in the shadows on that day I knew would come. She drew the last from her ragged lungs. She smiled in my direction and drifted off like smoke. I was silent as the grave, her name in my throat. I thought if I was faithful, I would join her in the air. Now I see this in between is the hell I'm damned to bear. It's best if she believes I'll be there where she goes. Hardest thing I've ever done is let her let me go. It's best if she believes there ain't no such thing as ghosts. Hardest thing I've ever done let her let me go. Let her let me go.
Thank you. That's a big old long song. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Payoff there was
Wow.
It was just amazing.
It's an amazing song. I was thinking you discussed the pronoun thing at the beginning, and whether or not you should have changed it, I don't know. But I think part of it is that you're conveying him, but with a woman's insight. And
well, a lot of discussion went into whether I should or not, and I would have had to change some of the lyrics because there are things a woman will do that a man won't. Like I don't think a man would dump the hamper out and curl up on his wife's clothes. Whereas, I mean that was kind of cool for the woman to do. And then you think about John Prine singing "Angel from Montgomery." He starts off, "I am an old woman," and that kind of clinched it for me. When somebody told me that, I was like. And Joan Baez used to always sing.
Virgil Caine is my name.
Huh?
Virgil Caine is my name.
Yes. So. Oh, yeah. So there's a folk tradition where you don't have to assume the gender of the singer. So I just went with that, and I'm happy that I did. Although I have had people question. I had somebody email me not long ago. Have you thought about doing another version where you sing it as a woman? And I went, nope. Because we took care of all that. We had all that discussion before I put it out on the album. So anyway, but thank you for listening.
Excellent choices and an incredible song. Incredible.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much. That's not my. I don't usually write 5 minutes. My songs are 3 minutes. So
radio friendly.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we're going to get into our song critiques now. And Harry's going to let us know what's going on, Harry, for our song critiques tonight.
Hey, Michael, before you want to remind everybody that while we have some great songwriters, all have great input, to withhold their comments until after our judges. And
that's right. We're going to give our professional industry judges, Barbie McMillan and Joe Milton, the chance to give their take on these songs tonight. Then everybody else can contribute.
As well as Helene.
As well as Helene, yes.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
I would like to turn over my judging to Helena if I can tonight, because I just got a call and I've got to deliver something the next hour. To a movie thing, and
then it'd be Barbie and Helene, and then everybody else can have their comments.
Would you do that for me?
My plan, I was planning to hang in here, so I'd be happy to.
Be hard, be nasty.
Duty calls. We understand, Joe.
Okay, we've got about six songs lined up, and.
Well, thank you very much, and my apologies, but I was not expecting this.
Duty calls.
Bless you all.
All right,
thanks, Joe.
All right, thank you.
And I will share my screen so we can see the lyrics and hear the songs. You may not see me, but you'll hear the songs and you'll see the lyrics.
Oh, one thing before I go, Harry.
Yes.
Are you coming tomorrow?
If you'll have me.
No.
No, I won't. I'll be there.
If I'm not up all night, I'll call you, and I'd be too tired.
Okay, I'll see you 11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, let's see here. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Everybody can see it. Okay, well, I'm going to go. That didn't do it. I didn't lose you, did I? On that. Didn't lose you on that. Okay, I've got everything loaded, I think. And I made PDF files of the song so we don't have to wait for Word to load. Hang on here. Okay, there's what we got, folks. We're going to start at the top here. It's alphabetical order by song, so we'll do it that way. We've got Angels by Eric Ramsey. Here's the lyric. There's the lyric. Can everybody see that? I'll push it over to the middle here.
Yep.
We get going. And here's the MP3 file. Y'all ready?
Go.
Yes.
Okay. Let the beach ball do its thing.
Okay. You're opening the lyric.
The lyric's open. I just got it.
I can't see it. I can't
Well,
see the lyric.
that's because I had to go back to get the MP3 file.
Oh,
We're waiting for the MP3 to load.
All right. Let's see.
Who decided that an angel has to wear white and have a halo and silver wings? Can't they be clad in brown or plaid or navy blue and be full of piss and vinegar too, just like you and me?
What's all that noise going on in the background?
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop. Somebody is not muted. Is everybody muted?
Bob, will you mute your microphone? And let's see who else is not muted. We've had a lot of weird noise anyway, like on the Zoom thing for some reason. Can you make those lyrics bigger? I can't hardly read them. I've got my nose on the computer.
Harry, do you need to unmute?
Yeah, I'll unmute myself, Paul. Go just to make sure it wasn't me making that noise. Okay, here we go again. The lyrics, lyric right here, and I'll see if I'll try to make that larger if I can. There we go. That'll make it larger.
You'd share your screen.
Yeah, we're not seeing.
Well, I gotta get okay. I can't do everything at once, folks. I'll be right there with you. Hang on.
Who decided that an angel has to wear white and have a halo and silver wings? Can't they be clad in brown or plaid or navy blue and be full of piss and vinegar too, just like you and me? Who decided that angels had to fly? I bet some trip and skin their knee. I'm sure there are some clumsy ones out there. Not everyone receives an equal share of elegance and grace. I prefer me an angel with a big old bag of tools, one who's a little rough around the edges. Some feathers missing from her wings tells me she's not afraid of things here on the ground. I prefer me an angel with some dirt under her nails, one who feels at home here in the trenches. Them smudges on her cheek say she won't shy from the dirty work of saving me. Some angels make the starting nine, some languish on the bench. Some never even make the team and have to be content to dream of being in the game. hapless ones any less a blessing to us down here on the field, where we're running round like fools, trying to learn the rules and worrying about the things we'll leave behind. I prefer me an angel who's traveled the long road, where lumps and bumps are all part of the bargain. Some feathers missing from her wings tells me she's not afraid of things here on the ground. I prefer me an angel with some red clay on her boots, who won't be scared off by a little misadventure. When the smudges on her cheeks say she won't shy from the dirty work of saving me. You should never travel any faster than your angels can fly. Make no unexpected turns, at least until your angel learns what it takes to stay right by your side. I'd like to find an angel who shares a little common ground. Mine keep quitting me. I've gone through 2 or 3, and I'm not sure there are many more left around. I'm getting to the age where there isn't that much pavement left to pound, and bushes left to shake, or promises to make, or hopes for any wholly lost and found. I'm gonna need me an angel with a big old bag of tools, one who's a little rough around the edges. Some feathers missing from her wings tells me she's not afraid of things here on the ground. I'm gonna need me an angel with some dirt under her nails, one who feels at home here in the trenches. Them smudges on her cheeks say she won't shy from the dirty work of saving me. Saving me. Saving me.
Can you leave the lyric up for us?
Yeah, just a second.
Harry?
I just want to make sure that we weren't going to get some more music.
Okay. Yeah, you were going to stop it so it didn't. Yeah.
There's the lyric.
Yeah, and can you make it a little bit bigger if you could? Okay, so I'll go ahead and start and get my feet wet, and then we'll switch. You can start every other one. We'll do every other one. We'll switch.
Okay.
Okay, so but we'll each critique each song, but I'll start, and then the next song you'll start, and so okay. Okay, so here's my thought about the song title. I bet there are 1,000 song titles out there named Angel and Angels. And today we earn money streaming songs, and people are searching for those songs to stream. So I would suggest that you try to get a little more words in your title. Or you can always do angels and then put something in parentheses to help your title search. So in your chorus, your first line of your chorus is you say, I prefer me an angel. But then the last chorus you sang, I'm going to need me an angel. And that is more direct, and I kind of like that. If you might want to use that every time, then you could use. Then that would be a great hook and title. I'm gonna need me an angel.
Okay.
So, and that's just like a more powerful thing than prefer. Need is more powerful. so that's one of my comments. Okay, so Wayne, you know I love your songs. I think you're a great lyricist. You're and your melodies are great. You're such a good singer. I love.
Is this Eric?
Oh, is it Eric?
Yeah,
Eric.
yeah.
Eric.
That's okay. I've been compared to a lot worse than Wayne.
They both have high voices, so
Yeah.
so Eric, I love your songs too, and you know you've heard me before say how great your songs are. So so there's a lot of really good things about this this song. It reminds me of something Glenn Campbell might have sung, you know, back in the '60s that Jimmy Webb might have written, except that it doesn't have a lot. Not everything rhymes like Jimmy Webb's songs would rhyme, which I don't think that's what you need. Believe me, I'm not a perfect rhyme person, and because I think it gets boring after a while. So I think your rhymes are fine. They're good. But I'd like to make a couple of suggestions in your melody, and gosh, I wish I had this in paper so I could underline these as they go by, because we only get to hear them once. But Harry, if you'd scroll down to the bridge, let's scroll down to the bridge. There's something I want to say that's really good about the bridge. Okay, so I love 3-line bridges, but 2-line bridges are good too. Sometimes people, you know, have these long bridges that don't go anywhere, but this is a great bridge. It does something, and that middle line where you have the unexpected chord when the word unexpected comes up, I think that's really super good. And
that's just serendipity, but that's thank you.
Yeah, I mean it worked. I mean, okay, so having said that, I mean, okay, we listen to music all of our lives, and a lot of this stuff that we do to have our music and our lyric have a lot of prosody to it. It's already there. It's in our brains, so we don't have to think about it a lot. The tools that we have to pull out are usually in the edit afterwards when something doesn't quite feel right, and then we have to go back and analyze and figure out, well, why doesn't that feel right? So, hopefully we're not writing thinking about edit as we edit. We're not editing as we write.
Right.
Okay, so there was something I think about the last. Okay, so just
to be clear,
yeah.
That's an older version of the song actually.
I know you sang some different songs and words than what we're looking at on here.
Yeah, there was a second half to that last verse that I got rid of because I thought it was not necessary, and it made the song a little bit too long, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not going there. I mean, that's not the direction I'm headed. Okay, so at the third line of the bridge, I think you could make that line more powerful. What it takes to stay right here by your side. Instead of singing through that, if you could hold out the word stay and then emphasize right by your side, in other words, have a little length there so that it gives that word something a little bit more importance for that last line of the bridge. And I think you can probably, I don't know how many times you've sung this song, but it probably won't be hard to come up with just a little bit longer melody there to hold that out. Because you want what it takes to stay right by your side instead of going so fast through that part.
Okay.
I mean, these are just little bitty things, but sometimes those little bitty things make a big difference. So in leading up to the chorus, on the last line of all of your verses, is there any way that on the last line of each of your verses you can have one thought that goes into your chorus
instead of different thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a continuation of a thought when you're talking conversationally, worrying about those things we'll leave behind. If you can change that to where it works to where you go right into, because I'm going to need an angel, so that that thought is all one thought. And then then when you get that as all one thought, then you can also get your melody to where it works and leads right into the chorus melody. And I wish I could. I wish I could have said it right after I heard it and the thing, so I could sing it for what I have in mind. But I've lost it now. But do you kind of understand what I'm trying to say? Just have that last line, kind of like you're talking to somebody and you're talking right on into the first line of the chorus, and so you also would want your melody to flow also right into there like that.
Sure.
Well.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's just my 2 cents. This is a great song. I love your song.
Thank you so much for giving it some thought. I appreciate that very much. And I think those are all very good suggestions.
Yeah. So Helene, I bet you've got some good suggestions or to say about a song.
Yeah, it made me think back to when I wrote Lucky Me, and I had 3 different verses on my first version. And there's a well-known songwriter who heard it and judged it in a contest and said, if you could make your 3 different choruses, if you could make your first 2 choruses just the same, give your listener a rest, because you're throwing a lot of information at them. And I resisted it at first, and then I did it, and he was right. And I would say this could handle the same thing. You've got a lot going on in this song, a lot of lyric. And if those first 2 choruses could just be the same, take your best lines, craft your best chorus. And you could even have a third one the same, because you've got verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus.
Yeah, it's a half verse, the last verse. But, yeah.
See, I would either do a bridge or a third chorus. I wouldn't do both, personally. That's a song format thing. But I don't know who your audience is and who you're writing for might be different than what I do. But I usually will do verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. But if I have a third verse, I will not do a bridge. And you got to say something really different. You want to look for something really different for your bridge in order to have one, I think, if you want one. Because that's what all I would say is just find your best lines and maybe condense down a little bit to a one chorus. If you want to change the chorus one time, change it the third. That's usually where we'll make a change. This is not gospel. This is just how I see things done a lot and would do. So I just felt like there was a lot coming at me, and then, oh man, a new chorus. Okay, well, do we need a new chorus? Do you need that second chorus to be different?
That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I get carried away with not getting bored with it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be glib, I think, sometimes, and that usually doesn't ever go so well.
When you're good with words, you want to use them. And then you've got some interesting words in here. When at first I was like clad, but then I hear the clad and plaid rhyme, and I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing. And it does keep it interesting, but I think you have to give your listener a chance to absorb. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn on Lucky Me, where when I finally did it, I was like, oh, he was right. Everybody just can take a breath. They know what's coming. They can absorb for a minute, and then you go on to something new. So it probably structure is the biggest thing I would take a look at with the song.
Okay.
So I agree with you, Helene, about the chorus being the same all the time. A chorus means a number of people sing along. Chorus means a number of people sing. So you want to keep your chorus the same all the time so that when it's introduced, the next time people can sing it.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
I mean, generally, yes.
That's I think that's a great observation and giving your audience an opportunity to just say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, just so you know, Eric, I have written a song called That's How Angels Fly that has some similar stuff. So if you ever hear it, I wrote it before I heard your song.
I'm going to go listen to it right now, see what I can take.
Yeah, it's not out anywhere yet, but I think one of my co-writers is going to release it. But I just wanted I have a note to myself to say that. But I also want to say I really loved your voice, and you have some really cool guitar stuff going on here. So I wanted to also compliment that.
Thank you.
And I think it's a really great idea. And if you trimmed it up a little bit, I think it would be very powerful.
All right, great. Thank you very much. And Barbie, thank you for the suggestion on the title. That never occurred to me at all.
You're welcome. Hey, I like to put I don't know what those last 4 lines. What does the 4 lines say in your last verse? I can't.
The ones that aren't on here.
The ones that aren't on there?
Yeah. What are the 4 lines in your last verse?
God,
you said you cut it in half or something.
Oh,
or you?
Right.
Which I think is a good. If you do go the route of a third verse, I think the half verse is a good idea.
I was thinking about maybe putting that right behind the chorus, singing a chorus again, and then having that at the end, like an outro.
Okay.
Do we need to?
But it depends on what it says. So.
I'll take a look at that too.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate the idea of a bridge or a third, going to the chorus from the bridge. And I think I might have messed around with that, but I didn't. It wasn't working the way I was doing it. So, but I'll reconsider that too. Let's move on. There are a lot of other people, but thank you so much for your input and for taking
Good
the time.
song.
Cool song. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Dancing with Him, Wayne Willingham. Let's do that one.
Here's Wayne. Let's see now.
Okay, make sure I got the PDF. Here we go.
By the way, this is the one that I have a co-writer on, and it's the first and only co-write I've ever done. So,
and Barb, this is the first guy that you were complimenting a while ago.
Yeah, the other tenor that we have in the house.
Okay, here comes the BMP3.
She glides through the door of the dance hall Friday around 10. Takes off her coat, checks her makeup, greets all her friends. Gathers her courage and straightens her dress. Waits for the song to begin. Then she sways and she swirls and she offers her hand to the air. Laughs as she twirls, though you know that there's nobody there. Floats in his arms as she did way back then. She's more than remembering when. She's not dancing alone anymore. She's dancing with him. 49 years every Friday they stroll through the door. Eyes upon them, they circled as one across the floor. The ghost of her partner still guides every move, graceful as ever before. And she sways and she swirls like the girl that was Bella the Ball. No need for a mirror to know she is the fairest of all. Floats in his arms as she did way back then. She's more than remembering when. She's not dancing alone anymore. She's dancing with him. She's not dancing alone anymore. She's dancing with him. Dancing with him. Dancing with him.
Thank you.
Man. Well, that was cool. That made me feel something. And it makes me think of those couples. Man, when you see a couple that has been together a long time and they've danced together for years, that's who I love to see. Sometimes somebody at a show will get up and do that, and I'll go, they know each other. They've danced together for so long, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. And so that's what I saw here, even though she's alone. It made me think about that kind of an older couple.
That's sort of what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I can tell. You know, I don't have a lot to say. I mean, it's well written. Can you scroll down for me a little bit, please, Harry, just so I can see the. I was debating whether I well, not quite that far. Give me so I can see verse, chorus, please. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. I was trying to think, would I say the same thing on this one about not changing your chorus? And I'm not sure, because the song's not as long. There's not as much information coming at me. But it did make me wonder if you should do. How long was the song? Can you tell me that?
Oh God, I don't even know. It's under 3 minutes. I think it's about 2:45 maybe.
Yeah.
That might be a pre-chorus. Those 3 lines or 2 lines, but the first 2 lines in the chorus could be a pre-chorus.
Well, I don't even think about all that. I'm sorry, I'm losing track here. I was thinking again, the stuff about where she sways and swirls like she was the belle of the ball didn't hit me as hard as she offers her hand to the air. I was like, dang, that's a great line. And I think there's part of me that wants to hear that stuff again. Laughs as she twirls, though you know there's nobody there. It might mean that you don't want to say ghost of her partner, because that's sort of the same idea. You might want to put maybe you put the belle of the ball stuff there in that second verse. But I don't know. I love she sways and swirls, she offers her hand to the air, laughs, she twirls. I think I would go back to doing the choruses the same and maybe look for, just so you're not stealing the thunder of that chorus. I think we already know the ghost of her partner is there. We've gotten that all through the song. Maybe look for other lines there. But that's opinion. That's one person's opinion.
But do you really think that the ghost part of it is coming out enough, even without that line? Without
it's totally
her partner.
No, it's all.
Okay.
The minute you say she offers her hand to the air, floats in his arms, she's more than remembering. She's not dancing alone. She's dancing with him. I totally had that she's there alone, all through the song. So there may be just some little tweak in there so that you're not chewing your oats again, just some other thought there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
that was the only thing that.
This used to be like 2 more verses, so I condensed it down to this.
Yeah. No, it felt very economical in terms of lyric. So.
In that case, then mission accomplished. I didn't want to wear it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay.
I think it's one that I would just take another look at and go, okay, is everything working the way I want it to? And is there anything I can beat? I do that all the time. But anyway, I don't really have a strong criticism. So those are just more my thoughts. Barbie.
So Helene, what I'm hearing is maybe a change in the lyric, but basically the structure probably doesn't need to change.
I wouldn't. Your structure is as basic as it gets.
Yes.
So I don't think, unless you did what I said and made both courses the same, and then took that belle of the ball, fairest of all thing, and had some little. I don't even know if you need a bridge. This thing where your song does feel a little. It's not long, but it has a lot of space between phrases, musical, stuff going on. So it doesn't feel, it feels like a good length already. I don't know that you need a bridge, but I don't know. It's hard, like Barbie said, it's hard with one listen on a song to really know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm hard to. I mean, I am. I really like to keep the chorus the same every time. I really like that idea. It usually works better because you usually end up having more people cover your song. It's easier to sing along to it.
Yeah.
But if you took those first two lines and used them as a pre-chorus, you'd have to do something with the music to make them feel like a pre-chorus, because right now they feel like a part of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to change the music a little bit there to make them feel like a pre-chorus, and then so you could treat those as a pre-chorus and then have the floats in his arms as a chorus. And then, or the other thing, like you said, would be to take those two lines and place them into a bridge, and give that a turning. But that needs to be a turning point in the music.
But honestly, as I'm sitting here reading it, and the pressure's off because you're talking, I don't think the girl was the belle of the ball and she's Ferris. I don't think those are near as interesting as the first chorus. So to me, I don't even know that you need those anywhere in the song.
Okay.
You know, because you kind of get, I think we have a saying that we use a lot, you get all that for free. You've already written that into your song. And fairest of all, belle of the ball, those start to be cliches that you want to be really careful. Offers her hand to the air, I've never heard. That's why I like that.
On the second chorus, I was torn there, and I'm where you are. Part of me likes it, but part of me understands what you're saying, so I get it.
Yeah. Well, it's your song, and you guys get to do what you want with it.
Whether we like it or not. So, I'd love to hear somebody other than me sing it. I don't think this is a good song for me to sing. I mean, I do okay, but there's a lot of other people that I think could probably do it better.
I thought you did good.
Well,
boy, for what it's worth, I thought it was terrific, and I thought that whole. I agree with Helene. The idea of her offering her hand to the air is that's so strong to me. It was really good, really cool.
Thank you. Welcome back, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Glad you're back.
Got my work done.
Is that it?
Good. Yes, I'm through.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job, Wayne. Love your songs.
Thank you, my dear.
Love your voice.
Okay, that was Dancing with Him by Wayne and Willingham. Now here's a song by Stephen Trom, Lift Your Head, and we will get the lyrics first.
I said this before, it's a rough studio mix.
Okay, here we go with the MP3.
Behind your phone, eating dinner all alone, on the worst date that I've ever known. Hey, I know that we met online, but I didn't think I'd find you logged in all of the time. Lift your head and look around, see what's real and hear the sound. Your soul is going to drown. Lift your head and look around, put that cell phone down. Hey, I see what matters most, what your virtual friends all post. It's turning you into a ghost. Hey, you might hear what I say if I was on your phone's display, but I might as well walk away. Walk away. Lift your head and look around, see what's real and hear the sound. Your soul is going to drown. Lift your head and look around. 3, 4. You'll never know who I am by checking Instagram. No, Snapchat is not where I'm at. I doubt you'd understand. cell phone down. Put it down. Put it down, put it down, put it down.
Good, thank you.
Woohoo!
That's good. Well, you did what we like. You kept the chorus the same every time.
Chorus,
Sing along.
bridge, chorus, verse, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Good job, cool surgeon. Hey, I love your background, your tracks and stuff. They remind me of the '80s. I can't help it.
Yes, I was thinking the same. Who is that?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out last time either, but I love it.
Heavily influenced by 80s college rock.
Yeah. It's good, and I like the way your chorus takes a different direction from the verse. It keeps it from being uninteresting. It makes it more interesting, and I like what your lyrics are saying, and your music is fun, like your lyrics are fun. And what is it with Ghost tonight? I mean, there's a ghost just creeped into every song after Helene started it.
Yeah, sorry.
That's funny. So what? Okay, so when you repeated the chorus at the end, did you modulate, or it just sounded?
Well, I did the chorus twice, and the second time there was a key change.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, and I like that. I thought it just.
Yeah, the two things I did different with this song than some of my other stuff is, one, I got stuck in 4/4 time, and I'm like, you know what? I had this cool chord progression that I needed to play with, and I put it in 6/8 time, and it just came together. And then the other thing was throw a key change in there and kind of mix it up a little bit.
I liked that.
Huey Lewis in the News.
No, not exactly.
Huey Lewis.
They're a little more rockers. This is more like new wave or punk rock or something like that. But anyway, it's good. I can't think of anything I'd change about it.
Yeah. Can you scroll up a little bit for me, please, Harry? Yeah, I mean, to me, this is like almost like a novelty song. So it is what it is. It's not, you're not trying to change the world necessarily with a song, except I think the world needs to hear this song. Everybody I see, yeah, or something like it.
We all know people like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. Look around any restaurant and it's all, that's all people are doing, is it everybody at the table will have their phones out. Anyway, so, I mean, you're saying something serious, but in a fun way. And I think that's cool. For this kind of a song, I don't really have a suggestion. I think you've done your work on it, and its form is good. Barbie's talked about melody. I don't really have anything to add.
Yeah, the lyric is preachy in the song, but the way the music is put, it lightens it up.
Yeah.
Normally I'd say, don't have a preachy lyric, but in this place it works because of the track, the way the music's treated.
Yeah.
Stephen, this made me think of a play, and this is an act in the play, like Tommy and the Who or something, where this is the cell phone scene, and this is the music with it. I enjoyed it.
I think you might be writing a
musical. Got my rock opera album coming out this summer.
That's right. I think you're writing that. Oh, no.
This should finish the first act. Just saying.
Do you have a comment, Joe? Joe Milton?
I didn't totally hear it all.
Oh,
so,
okay.
No.
All right.
I'm just rejoining because I got my stuff done.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Good one.
Thank you.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody, lift your heads. see what else we got here. Okay. We have a song by Alexis Tapp. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For some reason,
Write her
her
down.
PDF is below the MP3, but probably because we had named it.
What's the name of the song?
Outside Your Window by Alexis. I'll make that bigger. Okay, Outside Your Window. Is that right? Yeah, okay, here we go.
As you peer through the glass and look out at me, till the cloud lifts, I know where I will be. Outside your window, 'cause I can't come in. I mouth the words love you, but do you understand? Tears slide down your cheeks. Days turn into weeks. Why can't I be with you? Sit by your bed and love you the way you loved me as a kid. I'd kiss all your hurts when you need me most. 'Cause we've traded roles and my heart is broke. Outside your window when you need me most. The world is a prison that won't turn us loose. Locked doors and windows and too many rules. You're like a child now and need so much care. But I can't come in there, so I'll just stand here as tears slide down my cheek. This has dragged on too many weeks. Why can't I be with you? Sit by your bed, love you the way you loved me as a kid. I'd kiss all your hurts when you need me most. 'Cause we've traded roles and this lump in my throat. 'Cause I'm outside your window when you need me most. Do you even understand what's going on? My greatest fears you could die in there all alone. So I pray for the day I'll be with you and sit by your bed and love you the way you loved me as a kid and kiss all your hurts when you need me most. We've traded roles and my heart is broke, but I wanna be with you where I'm needed most. Till then, I'm outside your window when you need me most.
Wow, so you and Joe wrote this together? Is that you playing and singing, Alexis?
That's me singing, that's Joe playing.
Yeah, that was very cool. That made me feel, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's so relatable right now, and so many people are going through exactly this. I don't have a lot to say on this one either. It made me feel sad, which is I think what you want it to do, and it's pretty tightly written. A couple of small things like when you went, this is dragged on too many weeks. Dragged is a hard word to sing, and it's felt like a stumble a little bit. I would just maybe clean that up again. Maybe keep it the same as your. I know I sound like a broken record, and this is not the only thing that I would talk about with songs, but maybe just keep it days turn into weeks, because I don't know that you need to change that line. I mean, if I change a line, I think, why am I changing it? Do I need to change it? Am I bored with that line? Am I afraid people are going to be bored with it? What's making me change it? I would rather you find the strongest line you can there and leave it the same. Sorry, I've lost the. Hang on, we'll get back to it.
I lost it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And then you have in parentheses, but I can't come in there, so I'll just stand here. I know you're going for the there, here thing, but I can't come in. It's just fine. So I can't come in, so I'll just stand out here. Works great if you're wondering about that. Can you slide down a teeny bit more? So just now, this is just from a singing perspective. Your listener is not always going to have a lyric sheet in front of them. I'd kiss all your hurts when you need me most, because we traded roles, and this lump in my throat. It sounds like the person has two throats. I wouldn't put an S on there. I know you're continuing it to the next line. This lump in my throat is because but it sounds like all of a sudden I had to go, wait a minute, throats? What did she mean there? So I would just keep it. We traded roles, and this lump in my throat. I don't know. Maybe you go back to.
My heart is broken.
Yeah. Or if you do lump in my throat, keep it super simple where it's not a continuing thought where the listener has to go, oh, okay, this is what she meant. I also thought Last Breath was kind of cooler than Die in that bridge.
Die seemed a little hard.
It's a little hard, exactly. And when I read Last Breath, I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, that to me gives me, somebody's last breath was more evocative for me. But that's, again, my opinion. So otherwise, it's beautiful. It says something super relevant, and a lot of people will know exactly what this is about and are going through this right now.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts.
You bet.
Where's Barbie?
Ditto. I'm here, and I don't have anything more to say beyond that. But Alexis, your structure's coming together. You're getting good on your structure.
That's where Joe comes in. Actually, I did sing it pretty much this way, but then he did some chord changes and modulations and.
I like the modulation.
Editing and stuff. So
after the bridge, there was a modulation, but people don't do that much anymore. That's an old trick. You don't see that in pop music at all anymore, and never in country. So
it's kind of an emotional tune, so I think that's where Joe got that idea.
Yeah, it really does bring the emotion up a step.
It seems a little low key.
I have a question or a comment, but I don't want to step on Barbie. I guess I'm not. Alexis, I'm looking at the chorus where it says, "Why can't I be with you? Sit by your bed."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking you're making it a question, and I kind of hear, and I think it would give it, and I understand there's a certain amount of frustration to this person at that point, and that's why they'd ask the question. But just throwing out that if only I could be with you, sit by your bed, something like that.
Statement.
But also very much a statement of longing, the same way. And if I'm not mistaken, you use that same phrase in the first chorus. So that's the one thing. Other than that,
the original
ladies have come up with great comments.
The original lyric was how I long to be with you and sit by your bed.
I like it.
We don't say that. That's not very conversational. We don't say long.
That's why I changed it, because nobody longs for me.
The simplest thing would be just to say, "I want to be with you."
Mm-hmm.
So that's stronger than a question.
Yep.
Usually it is, yes. On that, can't come in there, so I'll just stand here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I have a line like that where I have a couple of lines that I think, well, it could be this or it could be sometimes I just go, I'm going to throw both of those out. They may not maybe there's something. Yeah, and I'm just sitting here thinking the world is a prison that won't turn us loose. Locked doors and windows and too many rules. You're like a child now and need so much care. Maybe it's something like, but the closest I can get is standing out here, or I want to touch you. I want, give me something physical there. Might be one more little emotional
Hug.
thing. Yeah.
Show instead of tell.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Or tangible, something tangible.
Yes. I think that would help it right there.
Visual.
What you're saying works. I mean, the song works, but just those little tweaks that as you keep on refining it will kind of start to elevate it.
More?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, try to keep the chorus the same. Pick the best elements and try to keep the chorus the same every time if you can. Use your pre-chorus for those things that you want to say that's different.
Are you talking to me now?
Or just to anybody out there. That seems to be the biggest theme of the night.
Yeah. Somehow I don't know how to move the song to the summation of the the reason I changed the pre-chorus was because I was trying to give first the mother's point of view, that she was seeing the mother in there with the tears, and then I was trying to bring it back to her self, and that she was mirroring her mother's tears, and she's much more aware of how many weeks it is. This other person doesn't have much concept of time.
Right. They might have Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that.
The person I wrote it about is one of my best buddies. And both of her parents have Alzheimer's and have been locked in this one room.
Yeah.
So,
Nancy
your cloud. So your cloud lifting can be all these restrictions, but can also be the dementia and that cloud I guess won't. Yeah. So you were trying to get a different
perspective.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. Consistency works.
Well, no, pre-chorus is okay. You can say things different in the pre-chorus. But try to keep the chorus the same. And if you have different ideas in your chorus, if you can throw it back up to the pre-chorus, where you can change ideas in each pre-chorus is better.
Or the bridge or something.
Yeah. Well, your bridge was pretty good. I don't know I'd do too much messing around with that.
Okay.
So
except for not the die part.
Right.
Yeah, the last
After I
breath.
recorded it and listened to it, I went, "Oh, that's so harsh,"
Yeah. There's some words we just don't want to hear.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of it lately, so it was.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
This is probably not in your song, but the first thing I thought of was a personal experience I had. The last time I saw my mother, I was standing outside the window of her hospital room. I was outside the hospital looking in through her window toward her. I was holding my baby up to the window.
Wow.
Golly.
So they
you're
wouldn't
gonna make me cry, Harry.
They wouldn't let children under a certain age in that wing of the hospital, and it was a one-floor hospital, and we were in Lubbock, and we had to go back to Denver, and the last time my daughter saw her, or she saw my daughter, was through the window, and that was the first thing I thought of, and but then I realized that's not actually where the person was singing the song.
Well, I don't know. I might have to pick at that a little bit.
But it was a very emotional experience, and it was the last time I saw my mother alive.
Well, we saw a lot on TV of what Alexis's song is about. We saw a lot of people, with a window between them.
Oh, I have.
Grandparents.
Yeah. A lot of people are taking that last breath alone. So.
Good song.
Next song?
Yeah.
Good job, Alexis.
Good job. Very good.
Alexis, do you feel clear while he's bringing up the next one? Do you feel clear on our comments?
I think so. I think Harry records this, so I'm going to go back and listen again too.
Yeah.
Harry, are you recording this?
Yes, it's being recorded. I'm not streaming it. I didn't stream it, but I will put it on Facebook when it's all over.
Okay, thank you.
I'll do some editing and put it on there.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. That was We Were Outside the Window. Now we're going to run away.
Uh-oh.
Is this the one that you sing, Wayne?
Yeah, I get to play live, folks.
Why don't we hold that one until the last? Let's do let's do Witness Tree. Robert Ellert's got Witness Tree here.
There
We'll
we
do
go.
that, and then we might go back to the real world of Zoom to do the live song. Okay, here comes the lyric. A lyric. It works a lot better when I make PDF files out of these doc files. Remember how long it took for them to load last time we did this? Okay, here comes the song.
The higher I climb, the better I see. I never once fooled the witness tree. The tower above, the plains below, never once sight where I said watching me. Saw everything mention that I had. The conscience is wind, a kindred spirit that never once speaks, but you can hear it. Witness tree, I know you're watching. Oh, witness tree. Oh, witness tree. I know you're watching me. The higher I climb, better I see. I never once fooled the witness tree. The tower above, the plains below, it never once seemed late when I said, oh no. I know you're watching me. Oh, witness tree, I know you're watching me. Oh, witness tree, I know you're watching me. Oh, witness tree. Oh, witness tree.
King.
Are you here, Joe? Do you want to start out with this critique?
Okay. I kind of get it, but it didn't really move me. The better climb, the witness tree. I'm not quite understanding the tune at this point.
Well, I like the simplicity of it. I love the message, and I like the metaphor, and I like the song title. It was very interesting to me, and and you kept the chorus the same every time, even though it's written different. You had that last line different with each chorus. You sang it the same. You sang the same line every time, which I've forgotten now. What the you're gonna be watching me, or what was it that you sang every time? The same line. Bob, Robert.
I think it's "You've been watching me" or something like that. I don't think he didn't do it as a question.
Right. Yeah, which is good, and you kept the same line, and I think that's good. But I like the simplicity of it, and I thought it was pretty good. I'd like to hear it a little bit. It sounded kind of like the band or something. Those chords reminded me of the band, and it was kind of sad. So the music was good. I kind of like to have heard some electric guitar on it or something, but. I liked it a lot.
Maybe I was just missing some, I don't know. But I didn't dislike the lyrics, but it just, it didn't grab me.
It's poetic. It's not conversational. It's more poetic than conversational.
It's the kind of song that would open a TV series. To me, it's like a film and TV kind of a thing, where it doesn't have to all line up the way it does when we write country, we write story, these songs and everything. This is way more open. I did wish that I understood it a teeny bit more. Like, the higher I climb, the better I see. I never once fooled the witness tree. I love that. But then I got lost on "It never blinked." I almost think you do the "never once" thing too many times. It towered above the plains below. It never once, but what does it mean? It never once blinked when I said no. I would love something in there that was a little bit more, something about the tree, and I don't know what that means. What did you say no to? I don't know. Oh, witness tree. Oh, you've been watching me. So a lot of it, I agree with Barbie. I love the title. And if you could just trim a couple, not trim, but tighten up a couple of these things to make it saw everything that I would hide. It was I don't know. It never once mentioned when I had lied. Something different than "it never once mentioned," maybe. But there are just a couple of lines that I think the last word, "the conscience is wind, a kindred spirit." I don't know. I think it's close, but it could use a little bit of thought behind it, and I don't know what "Tree Rings Mountain" means. So I don't. That to me was like.
But he didn't sing that.
He didn't.
No.
Okay, because I kept reading it and going, wait, where was that?
Yeah, that was.
And what is that? Okay.
Didn't sing
I
that.
think I sent along a lyric that was an experimental thing.
Yeah. So I think what it is it's a little bit. It is poetic. Tiny bit unfocused poetic, where I think it could be really cool poetic if you made a couple of these verses say something a little bit heavier, but not in a storytelling country kind of way, just in a being sure that it makes a little bit more sense maybe.
This song reminded me of "I'm Fixing a Hole Where the Rain Gets In," that Beatles song, which is a first-person narrative song. They're telling a story and they're part of the story. It kind of reminded me of that,
Yeah. I think there's very cool elements to it. It could be stronger, I think, lyrically.
May I make a comment, a humble comment?
No.
I would.
We'll see.
I dare speak up amongst all these great song critiquers, but to me, if I was co-writing, or if I was sitting in the room, I'd say, hey, for me personally, I would take that last verse with the tree rings mount, and I would make that my first verse. And I would take the first verse and make it my last verse.
Wait, the tree rings mount is the last line in the chorus.
Well, yeah, but I like the tree. Well, anyway, I didn't understand. The tree rings on the very. Is that a chorus variation down there? I would put that right at the beginning of the song.
I disagree, but because I think what he has. The higher I climb, the better I see. I never once fooled the witness tree. That is the strongest verse that you have in this whole thing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it kicks off the song. It gets the title in there, but
the metaphor is the tree rings. To me,
I don't get the tree rings at all.
That's the time it's lived.
There's a ring for every year. I mean, the rings are the history of the tree.
Yeah, if you could tie that to the singer, if it were tied to the singer somehow, every tree ring marks something in my life. The tree rings mount made no.
Yeah. I got onto this idea because I came across this phrase "witness tree" as this country was being settled.
Yeah,
spirits were out there, and they would focus on a tree that helped them survey the land. And later on in history, a witness tree was maybe something that, I'm not explaining all this. And so I was motivated by the witness tree.
I think it's a very cool image. I just think there could be it could have a couple more little nuggets in it is all I'm thinking.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. At first, you're in present tense, and then you say it saw everything. So you've changed.
I was going back and forth about that myself.
And then in the second line of that,
to me, the witness tree is the conscience. The witness tree is the conscience.
Yeah. I got that it was either God or metaphorically your inner self or something, but. I saw everything. I was wondering if it could be I wanted to hide. It saw everything I wanted.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So that was my contribution there.
Yeah, I think you can tighten up some of those lines, just like Helene said, to make them.
Yeah. It could be very, very powerful, and I could see it.
I love the harmony, the weird harmony in the background.
Yeah.
No extra charge for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hang it in there.
There's all sorts of room to do all sorts of killer guitar parts on there too.
I think you picked a good chord progression for it, and I think the music that you added to it added prosody to the lyric. I think it fit really well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wayne, we have one more.
One more, and we're going to want to look at the lyric, aren't we, while he plays?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to do it. You're just going to have to do it, Wayne. I'll get the lyric up.
Well, all right.
Okay, this is Wayne's second song. What's it called?
Wait a minute. Running away.
Running away.
Hang on here.
There it is.
There it is.
Are you going to share the screen?
I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got it. Harry's got it up or whatever. Who's got it?
Good. Leave it there because I'm not. Yeah. This one I only finished about 10 days ago.
This way to do it, isn't it?
Oh, well, okay. Wish me luck. 1, 2. Stranded on a crosstown highway, face splattered with rain, thinking you were rich, cars in a ditch, and you're still just running away.
keep her guessing, teaching her a lesson, longer that you stay away. Take a look at who's soaking in his shoes. You're still just running away. You're still just running away. Why do you go to extremes? She's been a girl of your dreams since you were 14. Think you'd ever find a replacement for the sunshine she gave? And you found out later you couldn't really hate her. She just had something to say. Thinking you're the boss, you already lost, and you're still just running away. You're still just running away. Extreme. She's been the girl of your dreams since you were 14. Think you'd ever find a replacement for the sunshine she gave? And you found out later you couldn't really hate her. She just had something to say. Thinking you're the boss, you already lost, and you're still just running away. Missing her the most, you just see a ghost, and you're still just running away. Still just running away. Still just running away.
There.
Boy, Betty, your mic is really hot.
Oh, it is? We tested it earlier. We thought we had it turned down.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it was weird. Everybody's sound has gone up and down tonight. I've noticed.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Sunspots.
I guess.
There you go.
Kinda weird. So, Helene, I think it's your turn if you want to go for it, or do you want to?
Do you have something?
I'll be glad to start.
Yeah, why don't you start?
I got something.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and say something. Everybody can say something. I don't have much to say. Here is a song form that's not much used in pop music these days, and that's kind of what I'm teaching at Collin College is pop music. So, which is the AABA form. Mm-hmm. But using that form, you've followed all the rules in that area, and it came out well with your hook at the last line of each verse, and so that works well. And I like the groove of the song, and I didn't see anything that I would any corrections that I could think about that I would anything I would change. And you managed to get Ghost in there again, and
I know.
All of us knew anyway. Somehow, all of us brought Ghost songs for some reason.
I brought it twice.
Yeah. I was thinking it was your other one too.
Yeah.
Mine just died. It hasn't shown itself yet.
So that's kind of all I had to say about it.
Okay.
It's good, a great song. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really groovy.
Cool.
I wish I'd played it a little better, but
Yeah, and I think this form is still acceptable in folk music, folk and singer-songwriter music. People are still using this form.
Yep.
For folk and singer-songwriter. But they kind of got away from it in country, too. They're like, country music is chorus, 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 and so is pop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How about
I mean, lyrically, Joe, sorry, were you talking?
Go ahead.
No, I didn't really have a criticism because I thought, I mean, I write AA. I love AABA songs. I love writing them, and they're usually powerful, because they're different, and I think your lyrics are interesting. Going to keep her guessing. You find out later you couldn't really hate her; she just had something to say. I thought it was interesting, and I liked the groove too. So I don't have a criticism.
I think, Joe, did you have something?
I love it.
Darn, we can't argue.
Love to produce it. I think it's a pretty good, as opposed to all the pretty good songs. I would love to produce this one and run with it. It's just, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
There you go. All right.
Yep. Okay.
I'll tell you this much: it is fun to play.
Yeah,
it's fun to play. I could see myself going out on a gig and playing it, which is something I rarely say. But I would just pick up a guitar and go out on the gig and play this. And, I don't know if it's the greatest song in the world, but what the fuck?
It's
a pretty good song. It just flows right. There's just, like all my compadres said here, there's just nothing we can't play.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's hard.
Okay. Well, I've had a good night then.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all the rest of it, but I was. This is sometimes you just nail it, and that's good.
Had some good songs tonight, everybody. Thank you guys for bringing some good songs
so much, everyone, and
to
thank
hear
you,
and
Helene.
critique.
Oh.
Yes, thank you, Helene.
Thank you all for having me.
Good to see you again, Helene.
Yes, it was
Great
a
talk.
pleasure, and I hope it was in some way. I mean, it's really just my story, but I think we all have a lot in common, and the struggles and the.
Your ghost song still wins the night, though.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah,
That was a great song. And Helene, thank you for I had to go do some business, but it was done quick. Well, let me remind anybody that does any work for film and TV, they call, and you are beholden to deliver whatever.
I've heard.
Another week to deliver what I had to do. It didn't take any minutes. But thank you, because I know you're the better critic probably than me.
No, listen, everybody, we all have opinions.
We all have our own areas that we're good in too, which are different areas, which is good.
Yep. No, but it was fun to hang out with you guys. Pardon?
Thank you all for your time and your songs, and I think it's great. I'm so thankful to be a part of this, a small part of this group, and appreciate all the impact.
Helene, you can tell by now that everybody has appreciated you being with us tonight. You've added a great deal to our program, both in your story and in your critique. So thank you very much for agreeing to be
You're very welcome, you all. Thank you for inviting me. It was good to see you again.
Well, that's our meeting for tonight. We will have one the next first Thursday of the month, whenever that is, in May. So put it on your calendar somehow.
It'll probably be the first week of May.
Yeah, first week of May. There you go.
Well, happy
First
April
Thursday.
Fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Have a good April Fool prank for everybody, but
Stay well, everybody.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Push the little red button. It'll be gone. We'll all be gone.
Bye, Harry. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Harry. Good job.
Yeah, good
job tonight.
It is a good meeting.
Yeah, it was.
These song critiques really do go over well.
Yeah.
In this format, and not only that, they have the video to watch when it's over, and they can go back and get all the fine stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
I'm gonna go straight to bed.
Me too.
See you later.
See you, Barb. Bye.
Bye.